Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm your host, Wayne Holloway, and thank you once again for tuning in. And we are going to you live. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to talk to us, DM us, holler at us, we holler back. I'm not going to take too long because it's an exciting show we got planned for you guys, and I want to get it all in. Let me introduce my co-host, Mr. Steven Rubain.
Hey, thank you for having me on. I think like the August weather is hot and steamy, so we're gonna have a hot and steamy show.
Well, it's not having you on no more. You're a permanent fixture here,
Well,
so you know it.
I always feel like I'm treated like the lost stepchild on the show, so I got to earn my privilege of being on the show. So
Well,
I'm gonna earn it this year.
You are the lost stepchild when you have the type of views that you be trying to come with. Sometimes, sometimes we align, and it's like clockwork.
Sometimes. And sometimes I gotta just put him in his place because he just comes out of here, out of left field, center field, all over the field. So
left field, you tried to call Aaron Rodgers a bum, and that's crazy, Steve.
No, I said overrated. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think we can go to some videotapes where I heard BUM come out of your mouth, sir.
Oh, we're gonna talk about him today. So let's hold off on him. We'll get into him a little later on the show, but we got a lot to get into. You want to just get right into the news, or anything you want to talk about as far as fantasy or anything coming up?
Oh, fantasy people! If you want to hit us in our DMs. You see the Fantasy Football Elite. I believe we have about maybe one more person that can enter, and that contest is a $400 contest right there.
Absolutely.
And that's not for the weakest stomach right there. But I do have more leagues that you may be able to get into. Just hit me up in the DMs. All the drafts start on the 19th, 20th, and most of my draft dates are the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays,
yes.
Evening time.
Absolutely.
Sunset time. Hey, but without further ado, let's get into this news, man. I'll come back to something if
yeah, we're gonna talk about, because we also got to talk about the picks are in. We all be doing our picks this year.
Of course, we're gonna do the picks.
So let's get let the people know that we're gonna be planning on having give a special prize for the person who comes up with the most picks.
Let's do the gift cards again.
I like that.
We'll do NFL gift cards and give out gift cards once again. Man, I guess let's this year. Last year, I think we had like 3 competitions. Let's do like 4 or 5 this year.
Yeah, let's do 4 or 5. I like that.
$50 gift cards, and like I said before, we will be having a competition where we'll be giving away some USC tickets,
yes,
some Rams tickets,
yes.
But that's all to get our subscriber count up. We need to get the subscriber count up. We not playing no more.
We serious. Hey, we want to blow the whistle on this. That's what we're all about.
Let's get it going.
All right, so let's get into some news. Let's start soft, and then we're going to get hard. That's how we're going to do. We're going to start the news with a soft news and about boxing.
Oh,
because right now the boxing game got some work to do.
Boxing got a lot to do because boxing used to be the highlight of everybody's life, where we would all piece up and pay somebody at their house to have the big screen TV, go over there and see them put the fight on, have some food, and then Tyson would ruin it with a 30-second knockout.
Yeah, but it was all worth it though. We still, that 30-second knockout was worth it.
It was glamorous
because we were just so excited. I mean, it was an event. It wasn't just a boxing match.
It made the pre-fights even more exciting because you're like, we might as well watch these because these are going to be the longest ones going.
Absolutely. So last Saturday we had Jake Paul, who was I'm not sure what do you call him, YouTuber /
YouTube sensation. He's a social media person.
Well, he had a fight in Miami last Saturday against Nate Diaz, who I guess was a very much respected MMA fighter, who decided to go on a straight boxing match against Jake Paul. Did you watch any of it?
No, it to me it's a money grab. It's a money gimmick. What will make it fair, and what I've been wanting to put out there is, if the MMA fighter comes to does boxing, the boxer has to go do MMA.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. That
would make it fair, because then one person that's the specialist at their craft, we get to see both sides of the spectrum.
Right, I agree with that. But Nate Diaz didn't look like a boxer at all. He looked like at times he looked like he didn't even know how to box.
Fish out of water.
Yeah, And so Jake Paul went on a unanimous decision, but like you said, money grab. And
But Nate Diaz, is he a grappler? Is he one of those people
Yeah.
that see?
that's
That's
what I'm
not
saying.
fair.
It's not fair. And it looked like he was a grappler. He looked like he was trying to box, but he didn't feel comfortable. You can just tell.
Like when Mayweather fought
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor trained as a fighter for a little bit, even though I still think that was unfair. I believe that Mayweather should have went and did MMA.
Right.
So you beat him at boxing, which you're supposed to because you're a boxer.
You're a boxer.
Give him a chance to do it MMA, and let's see if it's the same effect.
I got no problem with that at all. But right now they got to figure it out. But like you said about the money grab, what's his name got paid $2 million, Jake Paul, and then the other guy got $500,000, Nate Diaz. That's boxing money. That's money that these guys.
How much Nate Diaz get?
$500,000.
Nice payday.
Nice payday. That's something for a boxer would love to get that type of payday. And so,
well, for Nate Diaz, MMA, what's their biggest purse?
He might get $1 million in the purse for a main.
So
fight.
$500,000 is dang near a championship win in the MMA.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It just seems like it's a money grab. And so, as long as people, I guess, pay for it, then I guess they're going to keep doing it. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not happy with the state of boxing now. I said that before. They got to figure it out. How to get. 2 weeks ago, we had an elite fight when we had the Errol Spence fight against Crawford.
Right.
We need fights like those. We need fights where the top are fighting the top, and get the suspense as it is. And so we'll see where it goes. But boxing has some work to do.
The thing is, the commission, boxing commission. Come on now, make fighters fight the best fighter. Let's get these belts wrapped up to where they mean something, not just where you make another belt up when you want somebody to fight and say it's a championship fight.
Oh, you mean like the WWC, WWB, WBO, WBC, IBF, IBA?
I'm not saying get rid of those. Let's just make it let's make it better to be able to receive it. Let's make it to where a fighter, where people can't say a fighter dodged somebody. Make it to where the commission says you have to fight A, B, C, and D to get here. You understand?
I agree.
Let's make tournaments to where, and I'm not saying them stupid tournaments where somebody fights 3 people in one day. No, let's be real about this. But let's make it exciting again.
Yeah,
bring the fire back to boxing.
I'm with you on that. Whatever it takes, because boxing needs help. So I'm with you that 100%. What do you want to get to now? You talk a little. They were talking about the Women's World Cup. Let's bring it up. We don't talk much about women's soccer, but they had a huge campaign to really promote women's soccer, and this was going to be the tournament that's going to take women's soccer up to the level where men's soccer is. And of course, people probably heard that they played against Sweden over the weekend and lost in penalty kicks, which was devastating. This is the earliest that the U.S. women's soccer team has ever lost in the Women's World Cup. I got a problem with people who, for political reasons, want to try to diminish or demean the women's soccer team and using it as a political ploy. If you tell a true American, you stick with your team, win or loss. You don't sit there and, because they lose, now this is an opportunity to use for political points, attacks towards these women who give their hearts out. And like I said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But ultimately, they still are the American U.S. women's soccer team. And you always support them no matter what.
But in what way did they use it as a political point? What was said that made you feel?
Well, there was a way they were saying that. They first of all come out blaming Joe Biden for the loss, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Who blamed Joe Biden?
Someone who's running for president in the United States on the Republican side.
Oh my goodness,
the Republican front runner.
Well, let me publicly say this in any sport. We watch sports to get away from the politics. We watch sports to get away from the everyday life that we have to go right back to after the 3-hour, 2.5-hour sport is over with. Please, please, please. Come on now. All the statements in basketball, football, soccer. You know what? Say what you want to say in the press conference, but let us watch the game,
Yeah, I know. It's getting it's getting out of control, and people just want to find reasons to put teams down. Gilbert Arenas, who is a longtime NBA player, played for the Wizards, played for the Warriors. You know, the men's U.S. basketball team, they're having their kind of like their World Cup coming up at the end of this month. And, you know, now I guess it's kind of hard to get the top elite NBA players to play on this team.
Right.
So now you're getting some of the up and coming players who aren't necessarily the star of the team, but they are, you know, young, you know, guys who are making a name for themselves.
Right.
So Arenas is going to come out this week and talk about how the team is garbage. It's a garbage team. It's not the elite team. It's not the team with like the LeBrons and, you know, the Currys and those type players. And so he's going to try and put that team down. I don't understand what that's about.
And we're okay. It is what it is. You know, people. You can have your view on policy and procedures when it comes to the political arena.
Yeah.
But just because I see things one way and politically, what does that have to do with the sport?
It has nothing to do with the sport. But that's what I'm saying. It's just people are using these opportunities just to demean player. I mean, if you put on the USA uniform, you should support no matter who the player is. They're representing the United States. You should put all your heart into helping them to win, no matter what competition it is, no matter what who's playing on the team.
Well, we're in that social media age where everybody uses everything to get likes and views, and
Right.
they'll use anything to try to generate views to come to their channel. What crazy is he saying?
Just talking, like I say, just talking about how this is an embarrassment to the United States. You know, this team is a lesser team, and just, you know, just things like that. That just
That's just like I hate when they compare every dream team to the first dream
right.
team. You know, I will always say that will always be the best because that was the first when they unlocked the gates for it to happen.
Right.
Because before it was crazy how we have basketball in the Olympics, but we couldn't play our best people.
Well, it's like you said, it goes to that whole politics word again. It's all politics, and so I don't know where they're going to go. You know, of course, you know, 2 years from now when they have the Olympics in Paris, I guess it's going to be next year, right? Is the Paris Olympics? You're going to get the top guys coming out for that. You know, right now it's got to the point now where, you know, the lesser competitions they don't want to play, but they want to play when it comes to the big one.
Is LeBron still going to be in the NBA then?
Good question.
Is he still going to be there?
I think he is. What think about what would he leave for at this point? I mean, he's already a billionaire. You know, he's just
Having
playing for the
fun.
fun of it. And he's still playing at a top level.
Would he make that team?
Oh yeah. I mean, he'd have no problem getting on
At the age he is now, he still would make the team.
Yeah, just based on who you're going to take up. I mean,
see, he's going to make the team on merit.
If he wants to make if he wants to make the team, they're going to put him on the team. The question is going to be, does he want to play? That's how I feel on it.
Right.
It's more a matter of if he decides to play, he'll play. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll wait and see. I'm excited to see what they're going to do next year because I think the international teams are catching up to them, and so it's not a guarantee the U.S. is going to win next year in basketball. I mean, there's some good teams. France should have a strong team. If this Victor guy, Wembanyama, is going to be on that French team along with they got the guy from the Utah Jazz. Wait, he's with Minnesota now. Gobert. They got a couple other French guys, and so
I love it how the players they start singling out going to their countries to play also for the Olympics. That makes it more exciting.
It makes it much more exciting. So yeah, I've always loved men's basketball in the Olympics. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do in this one. But I think for the first time this year, I'm going to have to do this. Blow the whistle. Get my whistle ready. Who am I blowing the whistle on? The Pac-12 Conference.
Uh-oh.
Ask me, why am I blowing the whistle on the Pac-12 Conference?
Get into it.
Let's talk about it. So, as you guys know, last year, USC and UCLA, who were the two of the flagship members of the Pac-12 Conference, had mentioned that they were leaving in 2024 to go to the Big Ten, which I don't know why it's still called the Big Ten because they got like 14 teams in it, but that's a whole nother story. So they decided to leave for the Big Ten. And of course, as you know, there's going to be a domino effect. So now for the last year, there have been other teams in the Pac-12 have been all kind of teetering, deciding what they want to do. A couple months ago, Deion Sanders, coach for the Colorado, and people are not going to say he had no part in it, but of course, part of getting Deion Sanders to Colorado was the idea that they were going to leave the Pac-12 and go back to the Big 12, for which Colorado was a flagship member for many years back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So Colorado was the first chip to fall. So Colorado decided to leave the Pac-12 to go to the Big 12. So, of course, the other teams now realizing that's a huge loss to the Pac-12, and the Pac-12 is pretty much dead. Now you have Arizona, you have Utah, and you have Arizona State all deciding to go to the Big 12 as well. So that's three other major schools deciding to leave. So now you have Oregon and Washington, who are two of the other main members of the Pac-12. They now decide they're going to go to the Big 10. So that right now, that's 7 of the 12 schools all leaving. Actually, 8, including Colorado. So now you only have 4 schools left. You have Stanford, Cal, you have Oregon State, and Washington State.
What do you want to happen, Steve?
Just come on and say you're dead. Why are you still even calling yourself the Pac-12 when you're going to be the Pac-4?
So they should change. They need to change the whole conference up.
Change the whole conference up. Just admit to the fact that it's a failed conference, and let those other teams go where they may. Combine with another conference. Do something.
So, what did those teams? What's the name of the new conference that or is?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Reason why I'm blowing the whistle is I'm saying the Pac-12 is still trying to act like it's still a permanent conference when they only got 4. After next year, they're going to only have 4 teams.
It shouldn't even be a conference.
It shouldn't be a conference no more. So just come out and tell the people, look, this is our last year as the Pac-12. Next year we're going to be a different conference, or no conference at all if we merge with another one, and go from there.
Or it's time to add those teams that don't get shine, that they try to shun. It's time to add more teams, right?
Well, yeah, you can add more teams, but you're not going to get any teams on the level of the teams that left. So it's going to be a lesser conference. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a lesser conference no matter what. It
can be a lesser conference, but those other teams need to be seen because there's stars on those teams also.
I agree. But then do it then, or make it happen. But don't just sit there and cheat the fans and tell them, oh, we're still the Pac-12. We're still a relevant conference when you're not. That's why I'm blowing the whistle. Yeah, I'm blowing the whistle. I'm saying the Pac-12 needs to come because they keep telling the fans, oh, we're still a strong conference. We're still a major player. We're still a Power 5 conference. No, you're not. Everybody's trying to go on to other pastures. They're just like, look, we just get this year over with because we're ready to go on now to the big conferences.
And with this being said, and not to take away from anything Steve said, from weeks to come, we will have other broadcasters coming in via satellite to go over these issues, because also we're going to open the phone lines. Next week will be the first week to open the phone lines.
I can't wait.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear you guys' views. We got AT&T setting up us a new situation, and it should be big next week.
Yes.
Finally sounding good and right.
That's right. And we have a lot. I love when we get people call in, because then we can really get into things and get other perspectives. Because, I'm tired of having to carry other perspectives. Sometimes.
Well, you have a perspective, but when you listen to my perspective, it makes perspective right.
Speaking of that, you want to jump right into the NFL then? Since you feeling a little froggy today.
Okay. Well, before we go all the way into the NFL, let's talk about the brand new QBs, because I've been eager to talk about these new QBs in here.
So this is what I'm talking about with the frogginess. Let's start with your team, since you proudly are representing the Panthers.
Bryce Young, all day long.
And I'll get a start on this.
That's a good young man right there.
There used to be a time when a quarterback, came in as a rookie. Right. You had to earn your keep. You had to go out there and show that you deserve to be what you are, a starter, backup, whatever.
Right.
For whatever reason now, because the money has gotten more and the whole social media and everything, they now it's this new thing where it's just like, you drafted number 1, so we're just gonna make you the starter.
That's not what happened, Steve.
What is it then?
No. What it is what happened He wasn't the starter. Andy Dalton was brought in to be the starter, and they were going to wait 2 or 3 games for Bryce Young to come in. But what happened was the man is outstanding. The man is sensational. The man is a standout at practice. What are we supposed to do? He's outshining Andy Dalton. He's outshining Matt Corral. Just because you're new, you're outshining the person we're going to put in. We're not going to put the best person in. We're going to put the person that just used to playing in the NFL in. No, Steve. They put the best man on the field. You know who the best man is? Bryce Young. Cali Cat Pack, Roaring Riot, Panther Nation. Holla at your boy. We in it. We in it, and we look good. That man, oh my goodness, I've been watching these practices. That man is dropping dimes.
I'm going to quote the NBA Hall of Famer, Allen Iverson. Practice? You talking about practice?
Okay.
So you saying because he looked good in practice,
right?
You gonna put this man on the field and let him get killed, destroyed? You haven't had a chance to see him play one game yet, one series, one.
I'll give that to you. Practice.
It's practice.
Football is very different than basketball.
Absolutely.
It's 53 people on the roster.
More reason why I'd be more concerned until I see him in a game situation where he's out there with the offensive line blocking, defenders coming at him full blast. I mean, he might be amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong. He might be amazing. He might be the best quarterback ever to play in the NFL.
But hey, LeBron, how you doing, sir? Shout out to you.
All right. So, LeBron, tell us what you think. Do you think that Bryce Young should just be named to start without any reps whatsoever in the NFL? Not one single.
He was just saying what's up to just saying, just giving us a what's up. Okay. But I'll say this. Steve. If he doesn't play in the game, he has to start somewhere, right? So let's say he waits to game 4. Wouldn't that still be his first game, Steve?
Yeah, okay, but then he's had some time to get the offense in. Let's just see what he can do.
He has the offense. He's playing with the offense. He's playing with the ones.
You can't play with the offense until you play in the game times. My question is until you've been out there at a game, whether it's exhibition or a regular season game, we don't know what you could do. All we know is that you're a good practice player, which is fine. There are a lot of guys who are amazing practice players, but when it's time for the game to happen, it's a whole different mindset.
Well, see, this is that old way of thinking.
I'm old school,
and I get it. That old way of thinking it works in some situations, but in football, you got the only way we can see how good you are or what you need to work on is in the game. Him sitting out watching somebody else play the game that in practice is not playing as good as he is in practice. That way of thinking doesn't mesh with me. Andy Dalton, Bryce Young, Matt Corral, all at practice.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton was named the starter when the practice started. Andy Dalton was going through the reps just like Bryce Young, just like Matt Corral. Right. Guess what? Bryce Young outshined Andy Dalton. It wasn't that they just said, okay, Bryce Young, you're starting, because the general consensus was Bryce Young wasn't going to start to game 2 or 3, maybe 4. They're going to let Andy Dalton start, and if Andy Dalton gets a good start, they're going to let him go and let Matt Corral slowly work into the offense.
Yeah, but Andy Dalton, we have years and years of video to know what he can do. He has shown that he can do it during the game. I'm just saying,
Andy Dalton played last season. What did he do?
Well, I said we know what he can do. That's my point. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes ugly. To be honest with you, he's good. He can be good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah, but regardless, starting the game, we have a young man that needs to get in the game to get some reps up under him, so he can see what it is like in the game, man.
Yeah, and I said, let's get him a chance to play. Then, if he goes to do an exhibition and looks good, okay, season starts. You're the starter. I just don't like naming him the starter before the first exhibition game.
We're gonna bring this up next week.
When we're bringing up some lines.
But let's stay on these QBs.
All right, go to the next one.
To make a point, Love.
Yes.
Over there in Green Bay.
All right.
He had to get reps up under him for him to even look like something.
There you go.
In my opinion, he looked pretty awesome.
But once again, Jordan Love sat. How many years did he sit? 2 years, 2.5 years.
But he sat behind the Aaron. He didn't
Okay.
outshine Aaron Rodgers. That's the difference.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers is the man. He did his thing.
Right. But the Packers were smart in waiting, not just throwing him out there game one, first day.
How you going to throw him out game one and you got Aaron Rodgers on your team? The only way he got in the game is when Aaron Rodgers was hurt, sir.
I agree. Well, once again,
if we had Aaron Rodgers on our team and Bryce Young wouldn't be playing right now.
Well, I don't know. Can you say that with all certainty?
I'm pretty sure if he was our starter,
if you drafted him first in the draft. Now, keep in mind, Jordan Love was not a first pick in the draft. Jordan Love was a late first round pick. There's a big difference.
All right.
I'm sitting here saying they drafted Bryce Young under the guide set of he's going to be our quarterback no matter what. And that's why that's my question of it.
When you draft a QB at number one, that is the mindset. But you still don't throw him in. You make sure he's ready.
You make sure he's ready.
And that's what they did.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's what they did.
We're going to see. Like I said, I'm just worried if he doesn't come up to be the player that you want him to be.
He's going to be all that more. I got his rookie cards.
Okay. Steve. All right. But that's your concern.
I got it. No, right. I have no concern with it. I spent a pretty penny on his rookie card also. But he's going to succeed. He's going to do very well. He's dropping dimes, Steve.
Okay.
That front line, that Carolina front line was trashed in years past, but the last season, the season before, and this last season, they pretty much shored it up. He's gonna have all day to throw that ball.
Okay, all right. I'm just thinking about this guy for the Jets, who they just threw out there.
Wilson,
yes. And look what happened to him. They just let him go out there and destroy himself. Now he got to totally rebuild his whole career from scratch.
I don't think. I think it was the organization. The organization hurt him.
Yeah,
because Wilson made mistakes like rookies are supposed to.
Right.
But guess what? He still didn't look horrible out there. The thing is, you have to know how to mentor people. Just like with Cam Newton, I don't think that Ron Rivera knew how to mentor Cam, and that's why Cam's in the situation Cam's in now. That's another story we got to talk about.
We're gonna talk about that.
But staying on what we're talking about, the QBs, Wilson got mistreated by the Jets organization and put on the back burner because they picked up a Hall of Fame QB.
Right.
And so they want to try to go now because the Hall of Fame QB be here another 2 seasons, maybe another one, and then they still have Wilson, solid QB that can come in after he gets mentored by a Rodgers. That's understandable.
I don't have a problem with that at all. I told you, the only problem I got with Aaron Rodgers is I just don't see how you guys feel at 39 years old. The fountain of youth is going to just come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he's going to be this elite quarterback again. When last year he didn't show anything close to being elite.
He's looking like a real quarterback now.
Okay.
Over there in Green Bay, it looked like a lot of bad blood was going on. Now he's giving up money for running backs to come on the team.
Right.
He's a team player. He's talking to people. You see the difference?
Yeah.
You see when I was saying in Green Bay, when he was over there, he wasn't talking to people. People were kind of annoyed how he was acting. I was annoyed by hearing the things I was hearing about Aaron Rodgers because I think highly of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness!
And players was throwing him under the bus.
Bus.
But guess what? He was in an unhappy situation. But what do you do in an unhappy situation and you're still getting paid top dollar? Do you say, "No, I don't want the top dollar. Let me go someplace else"? No, you stay there and you collect the money, but it's still not a happy situation. Now, Green Bay, although they knew he wasn't a happy camper,
right,
and they still gave him bag after bag after bag full of money. That's an organization issue once again, just like over with the Jets, Wilson. Organization issue with not knowing how to mentor people. But guess who knows how to mentor people? The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh my goodness!
Now they put in a quarterback. His name, Pickett.
Yes.
Pickett is an outstanding QB. He hasn't done everything right. But when he made mistakes, Tomlin went over there, talked to him, and they made him efficient. He went from making stupid mistakes to being efficient. stupid mistakes to being efficient, and now I think he comes out there and be elite. And look out for him in fantasy.
I know.
Pickett to Pickens.
But I'm glad you brought him up because that's a great example of what I'm talking about. Pickett, did Pickett start the season as a number one? No. They put in who? A guy used to be with the Bears. I'm trying to remember his name. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, not Garrett. You're talking about the
Can't remember his name. You know, like I said, I didn't care for him as a quarterback anyway. But they let him go out there the first couple games.
The one that he got accused for making racial slurs. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he started the first couple games, then let him get out there, and then Pickett came in. I think like game 3 or game 4, he came in to start. That's how you do it, quarterback. You don't just throw him out to the wolves at the very beginning.
Well, the guy that you're talking about, that we got to get his name, Steve. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But he didn't show up. So they put him out there. But guess what? Bryce Young showed up.
Okay.
Bryce Young showed up to camp. He showed himself as being a leader.
Right.
And people want to follow him.
All right.
You can't hold that back. You can't hold that back. Let's open Pandora's box and let's get Carolina shining in there, baby.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this first exhibition game, see what he's going to go out there and do. Like I said, I want to see him in a game situation, even if it's an exhibition game. Let's see how he handles it when that 209-pound guy is coming at him in a full pass rush. How does he do his progressions? How does he make decisions on the run? That's what I need to see.
Hey, it's been looking pretty good to me.
It looks good to a lot of guys when you know they got that special jersey on that you know you can't touch them. You know, it's a lot easier to do your plays when you know that they're not allowed to touch you. It's a whole different ball of wax when you got 3 or 4 guys on the blitz coming and you got to make a decision quick.
They're going to throw the blitz, but guess what? That line in Carolina looks nice.
All right.
Looks nice.
Okay. All right.
Hey, we going to make the playoffs this season.
Well, speaking of former Panther quarterbacks, let's talk the Buccaneers. Because it seems like we got a little competition going in Tampa Bay.
Baker?
Between ex-Panther quarterback Baker Mayfield.
Can you really call him X just because he played a few games?
Yeah, call him X. Yeah, it was definitely X.
I can't.
He went there with a mindset of helping to change their fortunes around. And anyway, I guess he's in a little competition with Kyle Trask, ex-Florida Gator standout. And apparently Trask right now is looking better than him, but Tampa feels like they're kind of like just committed to Mayfield. But I said the first game Mayfield's going to start. The second game Trask is going to start, and they're going to try to just work it out.
Is that preseason or
preseason? Okay. Yeah, preseason. So we got to see who they decide they're going to go with.
What's crazy about that is Baker left Carolina the same season he played for Carolina, went to the Rams, and had a good game, and all of a sudden he's rejuvenated.
And that's something. It just tells you, though. I mean, the NFL is a league where you can go up and down, and still have a chance.
Certain players.
For certain players.
Well, we will keep other players. We won't even bring those names up that did exceptional and has been. Let's just move on.
Since you did bring that up, let's talk about, and since we're on this Panther theme, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton's not a Panther. He's an ex-Panther.
Once again, like I said, we're on an ex-Panther theme.
And I think I know where you're going, Steve.
Do you want to share it or do you want me to share it?
Well, we're not going to make big of this because we're going to move on to other topics that we know y'all want to hear. You know, the Cowboys and the 49ers want to hear about them. I know you take every chance to try to throw Carolina under the bus. But
absolutely.
But what he's talking about, people, recently, Cam Newton, I don't know, he's been showing himself out, showing out.
Yeah.
He was at somebody's practice, and he was getting heckled by kids.
Yeah, bunch of teenagers.
Bunch of teenagers on the side about, you know, what kids do what kids do.
Right.
Whatever their favorite team is, they're going to say that their QB is better than your QB, and you're trash, you did this, you did that. And the sad part about it, Cam Newton, he fell for it. Go ahead, Steve. You know what? You know
Well,
what?
the quarterback was Drew Brees, and so these are a bunch of young kids who were just talking about how Drew Brees was a better quarterback than Cam Newton. Cam Newton felt he needed to go over and confront the kids directly, and decided to go over there. And one of the kids is just sitting there saying, "Drew Brees is a better quarterback than you. You suck, bro." Teenage stuff. So Cam Newton decided to do some kind of crazy dance and sit there and say, "Well, that's why I got more money than you." Really, Cam? You're almost 40 years old.
See, I had to go off camera and let him spew the hate that he wanted to hate. Now, the thing about it is, I agree with him.
You're almost 40 years old.
Cam Newton went over there and he did something an inappropriate dance in front of these kids.
So I wasn't going to go inappropriate.
And then he wanted to tell somebody that's not even 20 years old, "I got more money than you." Come on, man. Like, and you know, I'm a huge Cam Newton fan.
I know.
I'm a
that's why I'm bringing it up.
Cam Newton fan.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
I know. That's why you're throwing them under the bus. But come on, Cam. I got more respect for you.
What was it? But tell the kids' response, though. Please share the kids' response.
Cam Newton, I got more respect for you, dude. Don't worry about what the haters say. No matter what happened, you did what you did, and you shined. You outshined a lot of people, and it is what it is. I'm trying to get you back in the league, and this is not the way, man. I know my words is just words. You're a grown man. You're gonna do what you want to do. I know how you felt. I know the energy the young man was giving you, but kids will be kids, man. We have to be older than them and overlook that, man. And besides my hating partner that's sitting next to me that all smiles about what's going on, dude, that was just the wrong way to handle it. It was the wrong way to handle it, and you're bigger than that. You are bigger than that, and
can we say that if there was any chance that Cam Newton could get in the Hall of Fame, it's pretty much done now.
Stop, Steve. Stop it.
I'm
Steve.
just
Stop
saying.
It. No, my goodness.
If there's any way he could have gotten the Hall of Fame, I think that pretty much sealed it.
The hate runs deep right here.
I'm just speaking. But you didn't say I'm gonna say that because you didn't want to say it. The kid said, "Look at you making fun. I'm a kid. Why are you talking to me like that? I'm a kid."
My bad. There you go, Steve. Not tell
the kid said, "Look at you. You're a grown man talking to a kid this way. What's wrong with you?" This was a teenager who's like making fun of him, saying, "Why are you making fun of me? I mean, I'm a teenager. You're a grown adult." And the kid was right. Oh my goodness, that was fun.
See, I know he wanted to get that off his chest. That's why I had to put the camera on him. Let him get it off his chest. He threw Cam Newton under the bus.
Now we can talk Cowboys and 49ers. I feel better now. You want to start Niners first or Cowboys?
Yeah. Niners first. That Brock Purdy, that boy looking great over there. He overcame this injury and he's back and ready for business.
Now, you know I'm old school again.
Here we go.
Trey Lance, you don't lose your job based on an injury. Trey Lance only played 2 games, got hurt, out for the year. He should come into the camp as a starter. Brock Purdy, if Brock Purdy outplays him in an exhibition, then give him the starter. But I don't like quarterback losing his job because of an injury.
Okay, well, he lost his job because the guy that came in there looked phenomenal. He didn't look okay. He didn't look like he made no mistakes, Steve. None.
Well,
he made no mistakes. He came in there. He got the job. He knew what was it entailed, and he handled it. No. He went out there and put a string of wins.
No guarantees that Trey Lance could have done the same thing in that situation.
Well, what we can tell you is when Trey Lance started, Trey Lance lost.
Well, no, he had one game. He had a game, the first game of the season against Chicago. I don't even count that one because
Did he win?
The field was so no, they lost the game, but,
okay.
But the field was so horrendous. I mean, it was in a mudslide.
Your first impression must always be your best impression. And I'm not I got high hopes for Trey Lance, but I don't think Trey Lance is going to be in the 49er uniform for long. I think Trey Lance is going to move on because Minnesota's calling. They're calling. They are.
Well, I hope he does go to Minnesota. Like I said, because I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan at all. So anybody they can put in Minnesota over Kirk Cousins, I'm all for.
As of right now, Trey Lance is a third on the depth chart.
Yeah.
They got Darnold over Trey Lance, so you go figure that.
I know. It just. I don't even want to talk about it.
Hey, so when he came back, he's at practice, right?
He's at practice.
Darnold's looking better than Trey Lance. Call it the way it is, Steve.
I'm just calling it. Look, once again, I think Lance should have been named the starter and then let Purdy play him out.
How do you name somebody the starter when Purdy came in there and he did it? In his debut, he looked like a rock star.
Right. He came out like week 8, week 9.
In Lance's debut, he looked like hot garbage.
He played on a horrible field. Anybody who watched that Bear game, I watched the game. That was an impossible game for anybody to look good in.
Hey.
And basically, neither team really won the game. It was one of those games that somebody had to get a decision.
Hey,
so
well,
I think it was like 12-9, 12.
You can say it the way you want to say it. You can dial it up, make it look pretty, however you want to make it look, Steve.
All right.
It is what it is.
Okay, I'm just saying.
He lost. Did Purdy lose?
No, Purdy didn't lose, no.
When Purdy lost, what happened to Purdy?
He got hurt, right?
Exactly. When Trey Lance lost, was he hurt? Exactly. See, I know you don't just spit it out. Spit it out.
All right, I'm not gonna argue that point with you. Like I said, we'll see how it plays out.
And more QB news, Watson. What do you think? Is Watson going to be back to elite form this season?
Yeah, that team is loaded. I think that Cleveland team is going to be. They're going to give the top 3 teams in the AFC a run for their money.
I think he still needs a wide receiver over there.
Well, he got the right. Amari Cooper. They got the other guy.
Well,
from Michigan.
I didn't see him out there running these hell of a routes last season where it was just making Watson look good. But they have a season up under their belt. Right. We will see this season.
Have to see.
So I'm guessing you're gonna pick him up in fantasy.
Watson, honestly, if I can get Watson as a number 2, like a good number 2, yeah, I'd pick him up.
A number 2.
A number 2. Good number 2.
A number 2, and you say he's gonna be excellent.
I'm looking at the team. Remember, Cleveland goes wherever Nick Chubb goes, and Nick Chubb is going to have a dominant. I mean, you get Nick Chubb. Remember, Nick Chubb has dominated with Mayfield as quarterback. You now get him Deshaun Watson back there. That's going to open up a whole lot of things for Nick Chubb.
Next week when we open the phone lines, we're gonna have. I got some people that want to get in on this.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk more about this QB stuff, but before we only got so much time.
Yes, sir.
We need to get into this running back situation.
Oh man,
this running back situation is crazy.
It's crazy.
The NFL has disrespected all the running backs. I've talked to a few announcers. One announcer told me the running back position is not even an important position. Do you believe that?
No, it's crazy. Of course, it's important. This is just nothing more than
this is
money.
Another broadcaster though.
Yeah,
he told me that the running backs, they need to just get it together, and it is what it is.
Name me a team that's won a Super Bowl with no running back. You gotta have a running back. You gotta have somebody who can get between the yards and get some decent yardage.
Right.
If you don't have a good running back, you're not going to win because all teams are going to just load up and just go after the quarterback, and it's just going to be messy. You got to have that threat of the run.
Hey, I give everybody they chances to make their opinion, and his opinion, it wasn't an opinion, but everybody has one.
Right, everybody has one. So we'll see. But yeah, right now there's a bunch of running backs out there. I guess at this point, for those running backs, we're talking about like Dalvin Cook, talking about Ezekiel Elliott.
The holdouts?
The holdouts.
I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is not even holding out.
They're not even holding out. They're just not signed.
Because people don't want to pay people.
I'm saying for them, at this point, they get to miss training camp. They don't have to go through the grueling parts of training camp. Somebody's going to get hurt. So as soon as somebody gets hurt, they're right there say, hey, look at me.
But this is a way different NFL where somebody was signed this week, wasn't it? Keaton.
Well, here's inside. I actually would double check Kareem Hunt. He was supposed to sign with the Saints. It was supposed to have been a done deal. And then he undercut the Saints and said, hey, I'm going to go to the Colts first and look what the Colts got. So right now he's battling between those two. Now remember with the Colts, Jonathan Taylor's holding out. So
They're gonna need somebody because he should hold out.
Yeah.
Why put your body on the line for people that don't want to pay you?
Exactly. So Kareem Hunt's thinking, if this is going to be a lengthy holdout, I might be able to swoop in there and get a starting spot immediately.
Yeah, but it was somebody that just got signed, wasn't it? Kenyon Drake.
Kenyon Drake signed, yes.
Who did he sign to?
God, who did Kenyon Drake sign to? God, you got me on that one.
But let's say this: Kenyon Drake signed, right? But you got Cook out there. How does Kenyon Drake get signed before Cook? Before Ezekiel Elliott?
Because
what's going on?
Well, because he wanted to get signed. Like I said, I don't think Elliott want to get signed right now. I think they're playing the political game of let's just go out there and throw our name out there, go to a couple spots, do some tryouts, and kind of like feel around. Let's wait and see who's going to get hurt. When can we step into the best possible position for us? And that's kind of like what I think is going on with the one. They're like, they're not paying us anyway. So why should I go out there and go through training camp and get my body beat up when I can just wait until the season starts? Somebody gets hurt, I come in there immediately and I can just go in there and just, get my money off the bat.
I can't wait for the season to start.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm so excited for the season to start.
I mean, look at these divisions. Look at the AFC North,
and we still haven't went into.
We haven't gotten there yet, but
we gonna break down each division.
I mean, all four of those teams are beasts. Look at the AFC East now. You got the Jets, you got the Bills, you got the Dolphins. I mean, even the Patriots are not horrible. I mean, it's going to be a fun season this year.
I think next show, man, we should break down all the divisions and go through every team.
You want to do it next week? You want to do it
two? Next week will be the 16th. We'll only have 2 more weeks before the season.
I know, but I think next week we should talk fantasy first. Let's give the fans our fantasy outlook before we get into picks, because people are going to start doing our fantasy drafts.
We're not even going to do the picks. We just want to go through and rank them. But
we'll rank them.
We'll do fantasy.
Let's do fantasy. Yeah, I'm just thinking we can start our fantasy drafts next week. I know a lot of people are doing their drafts.
We'll do a lot of competition stuff next week.
We need to let people know who should they go for.
We got a lot of giveaways.
We got a lot
of stuff to give. We got a lot of love to give.
And like I said, we're fantasy maestros, so we want to let you guys know who to go for, who not to go for, and please don't drive a kicker in the first round.
Y'all see it? Fantasy football elite. It's up there for a reason.
Absolutely,
elite.
So yes, we're excited. We're gonna do our homework. We as you see, we can be a little rusty sometimes with somebody. There's been just so many changes. It's hard to keep up with so many players going to so many different teams and all this.
Man, that's just like before we get out there, we might also talk about the wide receiver from the Raiders that just got sentenced 3 to 10 years.
3 to 10 years. What's wrong with these young men?
Well, somebody needs to mentor them a little better. Somebody needs to let people know, once you step up and you've moved up, it's time to act different. And one of the things is being responsible. Being responsible means you got your fast car, but you got to be responsible in your fast car. Also, when you've been drinking, there's too many rideshare places that you could call. And you having money, you can have a driver and car waiting on your every beck and call. Right. You can have more drinks on the way to the house.
It just makes no sense at all. And even going in that, you got like people like Alvin Kamara talking about fighting at the club. He's looking at a suspension.
And I think he got 3 games.
Do you know what 3-game suspension?
3-game suspension for Alvin Kamara. For what happened in Vegas.
Yeah, what happened in Vegas. I mean, I don't understand it. You got all this money. Well, why put yourself in a situation where you could set yourself up? I respect the Kobe's and LeBrons, who you just don't see on the scene. They very rarely ever go out to the club, or rarely ever go where a situation where something can be caught up and brought up that could put them in trouble. They got too much to risk, too much to put themselves in trouble for.
Hey, get you guys a bodyguard that's a driver also.
Yeah.
Take care of him, and he will take care of you.
That's it.
And if you need to know somebody, hey, that's what I do on my off time. Drop it in the DMs. I have many, many guards that can take care of many people.
Absolutely.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Listen, you ever think the teams will want to pay for the bodyguards? When you got a player who's an elite player that you invested millions of dollars in, don't you think the team would want them to have a driver?
That's the thing. Teams do have that. If you're if you're a team, especially if you're a person like a what's the quarterback? Mahomes.
Mahomes, yes.
Not even that. If you just play for a team, they have a service where you can call and they will help you.
Yeah.
They will help you. But an elite player, come on now, they got that already.
Okay.
But they want you to take care of it yourself.
Right.
But they most of all they want you to be responsible. You're grown.
You're
you
grown
represent the team even when you're drinking. That's why I like Shaq. Shaq doesn't go out and drink. He drinks at home.
Drinks at home. Or bring the party to his house, or bring the party somewhere where he can control it.
Yeah, you do everything we want to do at your house.
That's it.
I'm just tired of seeing players go down. I don't care nationality. I'm just tired of seeing players go down for something stupid, especially when we want to see you play. Now that Ruggs would have been the X factor on the Raiders. The Raiders would probably be in a whole different situation.
Whole different. I mean, speed kills, and he was a speed guy. So, yep.
Don't worry, there'll be teams still waiting for him when he get out.
Oh, absolutely.
If there were teams waiting for Ray Caruth when he got out, of course they're waiting for him.
Oh my God, Ray Caruth. Oh, that's another one.
Hey, we won't even
go there. I'm gonna say, don't even go there. He bothered me. That one bothered me. How that went down. It's just, I don't even want to make fun of that one.
Hey, but horrible. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
We're trying to get the subscriber count up. Next week we're gonna deal with all of our competitions. We're gonna have the competition for the fantasy ready.
Right.
We're gonna put up links for you to get into fantasy football, and
the picks.
You don't have to wait. You can always hit us on any one of our social media outlets, and just hit me in the DMs. I'll send you the links for whatever you want, whatever you need. Fantasy football,
yes,
and our giveaways. Giveaways are going to be where you invite friends to subscribe. And the more subscribers will win tickets. However they got it going. We have a team that's doing that for us.
Yeah, so we're excited. We got a lot going on this year, and so we're going to do our homework because we're going to give you guys those fantasy picks. Make sure that you're ready for your fantasy drafts coming up. And
best listen to me. I'm a winner.
Okay. Much of the guy used to pick. Remember the days you used to pick Peyton Manning every year in the first round? Everybody would be pissed off at you. Why are you picking Peyton Manning again in the first round? Every year you pick Peyton Manning in the first round.
You know what? And the first year I picked him, I won in every league.
Yeah.
They were mad because not only did I pick up Peyton Manning, I think I got Reggie Wayne and Peyton Manning.
Yep. It'd be funny. It'd be funny. People before you even made the pick, we already know what you're picking back. You're gonna pick Peyton Manning.
Yeah, they hated on me so much.
Ooh,
they
man.
hated. Oh, they hated.
Yes.
You can feel the hate in the room when my pick come up number 1 and I'm picking number 9 and Peyton Manning still on the board. They like Peyton Manning. Yeah, of course, Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I remember them days. But yeah, we're excited. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna do my homework. This week will be study week. I'm gonna be study fantasy and make
you
sure.
better study because you got a draft coming up.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got some work to do.
Oh well, you got a week. We got a week
to do it, but I got some work to do because
the 19th is your first draft.
Yeah, first draft's the 19th, but I got some work to do because there's a lot of questionable picks out there. It's not as easy as it used to be in past years.
It's not easy now because you don't know who's playing,
right?
Who's in the house and who's in the outhouse.
Yeah, there used to be a time when like the first 5 or 6 picks were almost like set in stone.
Yes.
You knew. Remember the year that Christian McCaffrey, you knew it was going to be like the top pick.
Yes, and I told him not to pick him that year.
Oh man,
they didn't listen to me.
I didn't listen to him. I know. That still has me bitter. I had the number 1 pick in the draft, and I picked Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. It's okay, Steve.
I know.
It's okay. Hey, you should pick him down because he's the man over there, over there in the 49ers.
Not with that team that had like 2 or 3 running backs.
And as you see in the championship game, they didn't use them.
Nope,
they had their best players sitting there looking at them, throw it to other people.
Yeah, man.
But that's another story for another day.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, and share. We'll see y'all next week.
All right, guys. Peace out.